Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested the Accountant General of Edo State, Julius Anelo, and 2 other officials. Anelo and other officials were arrested for alleged withdrawal of huge sums of money from the state account. According to sources, out of the 24.6 billion naira paid into the government's account, about 14 billion was left within 1 week after the money was deposited some weeks back. Reports say that the EFCC acted to save the state and not to ground its activities has been peddled. Edo State Commissioner for Information, Chris Nehikhare, joins us now to discuss EFCC's evasion of the state resulted in the arrest of key financial ministry officials as the agency investigates allegations of fraud. Good to have you join us. All right, to get it started.
Good afternoon, Aaron.
Yes, good afternoon. Let's to get it started. You've heard the EFCC say this is not a witch hunt. Rather, they're trying to save the states from being crippled. What do you have to say to this?
First and foremost, I don't think what you just quoted is from the EFCC. I think that quotation or that report was actually thrown out there by the APC and their people, not from the EFCC. I think you should verify from EFCC why our Accountant General and also other members of the signatories of the state account were invited for questioning. The letter of invitation is very clear on the reasons why they were invited. And those reasons have been, and that invitation has been responded to. And for the heading of that letter was clear about some agric loan which has been repaid by the state government when it was administered. So what you're saying, sources, I don't want to believe, and I'm sure you don't want to believe that that's EFCC's response to their unconstitutional arrest and their attempt to cripple a government that is in place until November 12th. That is not the reason. What you just quoted, it's a flag being flown by the APC government that cannot wait till November 12th to come in, but instead, they have concocted stories to try to cripple the government before November 12th. And from what we are also hearing from different sources, this is an orchestrated drama because they don't even want the state government to be the one to approve the amount of money to be used for their inauguration in a few days' time. So instead, they want to bring money from outside sources and then loot the treasury on the first day by claiming they are repaying those they borrowed money from. That is what they are doing. They want to maybe use 100, 200 million to do the inauguration and then claim 5 to 10 billion from the state government as their first resort. Because there's no reason or anywhere in the country where EFCC has the audacity to go and stop a state government from carrying out normal government duties. I don't know where it's done. And then EFCC will come out and say they are trying to save the state. If they want to arrest anybody, when the next government comes in, they investigate. They put up a probe. Not this preemptive strike at civil servants doing their normal course of duties. And it's condemnable, it's unconstitutional, and it's a disgrace to EFCC. It's like they want not to be used like the Nigerian police who got his hands dirty by rigging the election on September 21st.
Right,
that is the same structure, that is the same template the EFCC is using now, and it's unacceptable to Nigerians and certainly to Edo State government.
Well, we certainly hear you on that, Commissioner, but there are questions regarding how the state government justifies its initial resistance to EFCC's investigation, given the agency's constitutional mandate.
What initial investigation? I'm not aware of any initial investigation. They wrote a letter. They wanted to see a couple of our officials who were not available at the time, and a proper response was sent to them. But the headings of the letters are clear. So I don't think there's any resistance. No responsible government or transparent or accountable government like Edo State government will resist EFCC. We did not resist EFCC. What has happened is a ploy by the incoming administration to dip his hands into the treasury without care in the next few days. They want to source for funds from wherever they want to do their inauguration and then claim billions of naira from Edo State Treasury. It's clear, that's what they want to do. If not, if they want to probe a government, they can wait till when they're in government and they set up investigative probe to probe the government. Not take this preemptive strike. You know that, we all know that, Nigerians know that. It's a shame that EFCC allowed itself to be used in such an ungodly manner.
All right, some stakeholders, some political stakeholders are hailing this particular move. All right, they are the Initiative for Democratic Advancement and Free Speech. They are saying that this is the right move because this is coming on the heels of the fact that there are reports that public assets are being looted, and they've accused the government of Godwin Obaseki of, and probably his cohorts for, probably looting government properties. We know that the deputy governor at a certain time pushed out a circular and warning permanent secretaries to be accountable for public assets within their purview as this transition actually takes place. So some people are actually happy that this is happening, that probably the government of Godwin Obaseki as is winding down. We know November 12th is just by the corner, and several people are probably a little bit scared also that a lot will go missing between now and then.
Well, first and foremost, I think I'll talk about the former Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu. I'm sure you are aware, a few months ago, this government took out a full-page newspaper advert where we listed out 31 vehicles which he had illegally removed from government. The names of the vehicles, the VIN numbers, and the dates he illegally removed them. We are still waiting for him to return those vehicles. And I will advise the incoming government
not to muddy the waters, not to muddy the waters, but you said former. But the last I checked, he's still the deputy governor of Edo State.
Oh, no, it's not. The case is in the appeal court. The appeal court has said until the case is completely decided. It has not been decided. And you know that it has not been decided. You cannot, he's not the deputy governor until the courts say so. He's the former deputy governor. He is the former deputy governor. And he has been on the frolic of his own, making all sorts of accusations. Meanwhile, he is the one that we took out a full-page advert in the newspapers to return 31 vehicles, number plates, VIN numbers, and the type of vehicles. He has not returned them. And it's part of what we are handing over to the incoming government to pursue the deputy government to recover those vehicles. And now, the members of this government, commissioners and civil servants, they are not assigned vehicles. We do not have any vehicles. What we have is a fleet management system. So there's no commissioner or member of this government that is going away with any vehicle. We are not assigned vehicles. We have a fleet management system whereby we request for vehicles and they are provided, we use them and they return back to the fleet. It's like a form of government Uber service, which we have been enjoying and been using, and has saved this government over 3 billion in the last 1 year. So that is the truth. So there's nothing civil servants. Honorable Philip Shaibu was just flying a kite, making noise, and it's part of the grand scheme to try to cause chaos and cause confusion across Nigeria. This government has been the most transparent and most accountable this state has ever had.
All right, Commissioner.
And we are ready to show our books to anybody. You know, and so when the issue of certain groups say they are happy, yes, of course, when you have paid some groups that are sympathetic or supporters of these governments, of the incoming government, they are supposed to say things to buttress or try to do what they need to do. It's acceptable, they can do it. But then this government is in place till November 12th. Right. And this government deserves to be treated as a government in power till November 12th. Not harassing civil servants, arresting civil servants. For what?
Right,
the government is living in a week's time. And if you want to,
All right, Commissioner, going by what you just said earlier on about this government being transparent and accountable, and you also stated that you're ready to show your books to anybody, should we be expecting that the state government will make public its financial records to counter these EFCC claims anytime soon?
Of course, because they are frivolous. They're frivolous.
When would that
EFCC doesn't have a... If EFCC is just... what you are quoting are not EFCC claims. I want to repeat. They are claims by the APC government. A statement signed by a man who called himself the special advisor on media to the incoming or governor-elect. He is the one that made that statement, not the EFCC. So I think you should, if you need to call EFCC to clarify if it was them that made that statement. They did not. They have not made any statement since these people were illegally arrested in Benin and moved or detained in Abuja. Okay, they haven't.
But the timeline for that, for what you plan to make public,
and the heading of the letter.
When should we expect that?
Well, we have the whole of this week. I'm sure by Friday you will be aware of our handover notes and everything about this government in the last 8 years.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, speaking about the APC, because I have a statement and a quote in front of me by the governor-elect Monday Okpebolo and the APC saying that they have nothing to do with what is happening in Edo State at the moment. Because you've said the statement we quoted had nothing to do with the EFCC. But I actually have a statement in front of me which says to clarify and inform the general public, the governor-elect, like every citizen of Edo State, learned of the arrest of Mr. Julius Anelu and other state officials through the media reports. I could go on and on. Just an excerpt there.
Yeah, I just also want you quoted AFCC. And I'm challenging you to let EFCC let them confirm the quote that AFCC made the statement which you used to introduce this topic. That is not from AFCC. It is from the APC. If not from Okpebolo directly, it is from his cronies. We are in politics here together in Edo State, and we know who they are, we know how they behave, and we know how they react. It was them that pushed that out, not EFCC, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. They were not our Accountant General and the other four, not three like you mentioned, Accountant General and 4 others, or 3 others, I think, yeah, 4 of them. They were not invited because of withdrawal of money from state accounts to run state affairs. No, they were not. It was a specific thing. The heading of that letter says it, for some certain loan received in 2018. That was the heading. So the EFCC could not now go around and speak about state governments withdrawing money to run state projects or manage state affairs. The plan is to cripple the state. The plan is to have APC, incoming government, borrow money from a third party to do their inauguration and then charge the state exorbitantly as the cost of inauguration. That is their plan. Because that's the only thing they know how to do.
We certainly wish you well in the midst of all that's going on. We'd like to thank you for joining us here on Newsday. Edo State Commissioner for Information, Mr. Chris Nehikhare, thank you so much for joining us.